Hello, my friend, and welcome. This is your moment. I'm Katarina Miletic, and you are listening to the podcast that will challenge you to think with your soul and believe that your only power is inside you. Patrick, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank
I
you for having me.
I am so glad to have you on This Is Your Moment because what you do and what you represent, it's so exciting for this journey that we are all on. We are
Yeah,
entrepreneurs, we are role models, we are visionaries, we are bringing our passion into our brand. We are changing the world, really. And I know that is one of your strong statements. When people get in
yeah,
touch with you, they hear that Patrick Johnson is changing the world. So
yeah.
why don't you start right there and tell me what is the vision?
Probably the most succinct answer is opportunity. That's a huge word that I think embodies what we're establishing with rimpage. Currently, the NBA, I would say, is the biggest stage in basketball in terms of popularity.
Mhm.
But actually, if you think about the capacity, it's actually one of the smaller stages. And what I mean by that is there are only a certain amount of teams and there are only a certain amount of roster spots on those teams. And once they fill those spots, there literally is no room for anyone else. But everyone wants to get on that stage. And so what ends up happening is more than 99% of athletes who want to get on that stage are not able to. They don't get the opportunity.
Right?
And also because they're only taking like 3 out of every 10,000 athletes, there's a certain path that an athlete has to get on in
Mhm.
order to get an opportunity on that stage. And a lot of athletes just can't get on that path. And so
Right.
what Rimpage is doing is solving that problem.
Because I can imagine that it's hard and it's really hard wearing on someone when you have invested that much effort into refining your craft. You put heart and soul into it, and then you are crushed if you don't get into it. And as you say, like less than 1% of basketball players get a chance to play in NBA. So tell me how is Rimpage reframing this? Like what is the opportunity there for these players to get onto the world scene to fulfill their dreams
Yeah.
effectively?
I'm glad you said that word dreams because
Mm,
that's what we're dealing with. These
yes.
are children who have watched their favorite players play
Hmm.
professional basketball and they grow up emulating those players and they're dreaming about their chance to get on a big stage and perform like that. Except that by the time they get to the stage is turning them away. So what Rimpage is doing is we've created a big stage for them. And it's a stage that has no gatekeepers. There's no one to tell you you can't play here or until another guy he can. If you believe you have talent that's worthy of an audience, you can get on the stage. You have access. So it's a worldwide stage. That means anyone all over the world, as long as you have a cell phone and internet access, you can get on this stage and play. So what we've done is just open it up to the whole world so that anyone can get on that stage and perform. And then once you get on there, we'll let the world decide who belongs where.
Absolutely brilliant. How does that vision even start? Like where did this come from?
Well, I got my first insights into this business, and it was just an idea, just a twinkle of an idea
Mhm.
in about 2009.
Mhm.
And then I just wrote it down, and then I kept getting them over time, over months and years. I kept getting more and more. And each of those ideas was like a puzzle piece. And so
Mm.
over time, a picture starts to emerge with these ideas. And then
Mm.
I think really what really made me take action on it was watching my brothers, who also played college basketball.
Mhm.
I was traveling with the team. I filmed their games, and so I got to see them and got to know their teammates as well. And when they had exhausted their eligibility, I got to see what they do next. And so
Mm.
my two brothers got an NBA agent, and he got workouts for them with several NBA teams. So they were traveling around working out with these NBA teams so they could see their talent. But
Mm.
ultimately, it did not result in a contract. And
Mm.
so the next best thing for them was to go overseas. Or my two brothers ended up playing in Mexico. They played for a couple of years, and that was it. That was the end of the dream. And I
Wow.
remember thinking, something's wrong with that. There's got to be another big opportunity for players. And
Mm.
then that's just how it sort of came together.
Wow. That is how you translate the need into a vision and you connect the dream there.
Yeah.
It sounds little bit out there. And I personally love leaders like that. I love people who think outside the box, who don't think
Yes.
that anything that there is no limit really to the possibility of what we can achieve. So I'm really interested to hear about your set of values. What makes you think like this?
Freedom and love of freedom. And also, I have a very strong sense of optimizing,
Mm,
of looking at a system and finding the opportunities to make that system better. And so I
mm,
remember when I was a teenager, I remember thinking something's wrong with the game of basketball.
right.
I didn't really know what it was. I just had an inkling like something is missing. And then I started getting those insights by around 2009. And like I said, over time, they just came together.
So it can be approved upon, and then you played with that idea. Wow,
Always.
amazing. Did you play basketball then?
I did.
Was this
I
your
did.
dream as well? Right.
Yes, that was my dream. In fact, I have four brothers, so the five of us all had that dream, and we were all very good. But remember that path I told you about? Someone has to know about that path and guide you along that path so that you
Mm,
get the best opportunity. We
right.
didn't have that. So we
Mm,
had a lot of talent, but we didn't have that opportunity to get on that path.
right. So when was Rimpage created?
Rimpage was created officially in 2017. That
Mm,
was when I got the full vision. The missing piece
right.
was the mission. And
Mm-hmm.
that is Rempage's mission is to find the best basketball player in the world. Because
Uh-huh.
if you think about it, that is also missing. We have a lot of basketball leagues in the world right now, but how many of them have as their mission to present the world of basketball with the best player on the planet?
Mm-hmm.
None of them.
Mm,
They'll give us the best team in a country or the best team in a league, and then they let us argue about who's the best player. But
mm,
no, Rempage is out to find the best basketball player in every city, every state, and every country. So you
mm.
mix that with our unlimited capacity, and what you have is a league that's doing something that's never been done before in the
Mm.
history of the game.
See, what I really like about your vision, it extends beyond just the sport. It really empowers these young men to become better men.
Right,
We're building the future here, right?
right,
And
absolutely.
this to me seems like the school that we need, rather than the school that we had.
Here's a way you can think of that. We have three out of every 10,000 athletes being
Mhm.
selected to play for the NBA. That's less than 1%. And out of that less than 1%, we're getting players like LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry, Michael Jordan. We're getting players like that
Mm.
from less than 1%.
Yeah,
Imagine who's still out there in the 99%,
my goodness
just
me.
waiting to be
Yes.
discovered. And so
Wow.
what we're doing is we'll let them have the 1%. We're going to go after the 99% and see who else is out there. So
Mm.
we're really excited about that, finding the next big star in basketball.
Absolutely. What do these young men need to learn the most? What do you think that what are those tools that they need the most?
That is an excellent question. That is an excellent question. I think what they need to learn the most is
Mm,
that they can achieve greatly in life. I'm not sure where we get it from, where we along the way we pick up the idea that we cannot achieve greatly in life.
yes.
And of course, if you don't believe you can, you never will. In fact, you might not even try. Like
Mm,
if you think about it, that's how faith works. We only do the things we believe we can do, and the
yes,
things we don't believe we can do, we don't attempt. And
right.
so I think if they could just learn that they can achieve greatly, that they
Mm-hmm.
do have it in them to achieve greatly, then they'll try. And if they
Mm-hmm.
really believe it, when the obstacles and the adversity comes, they'll overcome that stuff. Instead of seeing that as a sign that maybe I'm just not this type of person, they'll
Yes.
see it as something that can help me get better, and they'll push through that, and then we'll see those superstars come.
Mm. I mean, you say that was a good question, but my goodness, was that a good answer to that question?
Thank you for asking that. It's something I rarely get to talk about because it's not asked of me, but that really is important. People need to just believe in themselves.
Yes, yes. So we have to reframe the way that we see the world,
Right.
because if we look at ourselves and if we look at the world from an empowered angle, that
Yes. Yes.
possibility becomes something within reach.
Yeah, life becomes a whole lot more exciting when you look
Yes,
through the lens of empowerment, the
yes,
I can attitude.
wow.
What can be withheld from you?
Yes,
You just
yes.
make a decision about what you want and go after it, and then
Mm,
get it. And
mm,
I want to see Rimpage athletes do that. The
yes.
stage is open for you. There's no one that's going to tell you you can't play here. It's up
Mm.
to you. Get on the stage and show the world what you can do. And even if you don't do well at first, we're not going to kick you off the stage. Improve and get better and better and better, and you can get up there with those guys who are really great.
Amazing. I just want to say that we will share the information about Rimpage. So if
Thank you.
anyone wants to get involved and follow your journey,
Thank you.
they can definitely support you and get in touch with you, because we need empowering leaders like you. We need role models like you in this world.
Thank
And
you. Thank
I want to ask you something really that strikes me, and I talk a lot on this platform with other leaders
you. Mhm.
about passion, and they shy away from this subject. And I can see how passionately you talk about your mission,
Yes.
how passionate you are about helping athletes to achieve bigger dreams, to achieve the dreams beyond the court, beyond basketball court, beyond the professional career. You want them to achieve well in life. You want them to
Right.
do
Right.
well in life and to reach
Right.
for any goal that they have, right? So, and can one get there without this kind of passion? What do you think?
I seriously doubt it.
Mm.
If you think of passion as the fuel in the tank, if you don't have fuel in the tank, the vehicle's not going anywhere. So you have to have that. You have to have a conviction that the thing you're doing has a right to be. It ought to be. The world needs it. The world deserves it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what fuels you to go forward with it. Like
Right.
when I look at what's happening in basketball over the 75 plus year history of the sport, we're leaving some opportunities on the table. Like
Mm-hmm.
what industry turns away 99% of its workforce?
Mm. It does.
99% of the workforce you're
Doesn't
turning
make
away, you're
sense.
not making good use of. You
Yes.
have guys who start out as children getting
Mm.
involved in the sport, and they're developing their skills through school, and then they play in college and they play in these big schools and before all these people, like these large audiences, and then all of a sudden nothing. They disappear.
Mm.
There's something's wrong with that.
Yes.
That's an issue, and we can fix it, and we ought to fix it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so that's what Rimpage is doing. We're going
Sounds
to
to
solve
me
that
like
problem.
we are fixing it,
Yes,
right?
yes. That's how we're changing the world. That's
Wow.
how we're giving opportunity to the people who otherwise would not have it, and
So,
we're excited to see what they do with it.
yeah, something's wrong with the picture, improve it, right?
Yes, absolutely,
Don't just settle
absolutely.
for, don't accept
Right,
this is
right.
it. Oh,
Accept it,
wow.
complain about it. No, take steps towards
Yes.
improving.
Yes, yes, yes. How much of this is personal focus? How much is this based on your own personal values, you think? Because it seems to me like a lot to step
Absolutely.
into the shoes of a leader of this kind of movement. You have to be certain about your own values and your own path.
Right. I
Mm,
believe I can.
mm,
That, that the same
mm.
thing that I said I want for the athletes, I have myself.
Yes,
I
yes.
believe I can. And I also have an ability to see what the finished vision,
Mm,
the vision fulfilled, like the
right.
destiny realized, what
Yes.
that looks like. And that pulls me towards it.
Powerful.
And now we've actually launched. We're doing it. So
Mm.
it's not just an idea anymore. We're
Yes,
actually doing it. We've
yes.
launched in the 15 cities in the Dallas Fort Worth area of Texas, and those guys are playing those matches. So we've already started. We're already on our way.
It sounds amazing. I cannot wait to see it unfold and want
Yes.
to, yes, want to contribute and help in any way that I can.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's
Thank you.
just amazing. We need to spread news like this. We need to spread
Right.
like this.
Right.
Mm,
Absolutely.
right?
Mhm. We're solving problems. We're changing lives,
Yes,
one
changing
life
life.
at a time.
Mm,
And for basketball fans, we're giving them a massive amount of basketball entertainment. Like
yes.
you can imagine, we don't play basketball the same way all over the world. So
Mm,
basketball fans will get to see how they play in China compared to how they play in Europe, compared to how they play
yes,
in Africa. We're
yes.
going to get to see it all. And we're going to get to follow these players' journeys as they win their city championships and state championships and national championships. and then ultimately the world championship.
Mm.
Fans get to follow along on those journeys. It's going to be an amazing ride.
Incredible mission. Yes, I have no doubt about it. Like with a conviction like that, with passion like that behind it, that fuels it. How can it not reach where its final destination, right? And beyond
Right.
that, and I can see it empowering so many people, everybody who is actually involved in this movement, not just the athletes, but everybody else who is part of it. It's just a thrilling ride, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Everyone
Absolutely.
involved. Oh my goodness, we need more. We need more movements like that. Like
Right, right.
I mean, like you have given me the ideas. We need things
Mhm.
like this, empowering movements in art, in every field, really, in education. Like that is so stagnant and stale.
Yeah.
We need to
Yes.
shake this.
Yes.
We need to shake our belief
Right.
systems.
That's right.
We
That's
need to somehow, wake up with a different mindset and say, let me try today to believe in my dreams. Let me try to figure out what is my dream.
right. Right. Otherwise, we're just bored here.
Yes, we're
We're
just
just
drifting
like,
aimlessly. Aimlessly,
yes.
seems like. What really personally hurts me is that people don't give themselves permission to dream. They don't. They
Wow.
deny themselves that, right?
Yes. May I say something about
Yes,
that?
of course.
There's a particular question that I like to ask people,
Mm.
and this question is worded in such a way that it allows them to take that heavy burden off and
Right.
set it down so
Yes.
they can just be free to dream. It's a
Mm.
particular question, and I love to to ask this question of people. And here it is for the listening audience. What would you do? What would you get into if you knew that you were absolutely 100% guaranteed to succeed?
Mm.
There's absolutely no way you can fail. That
Yeah.
means you have all the money, all the time, all the education, all the knowledge, all the resources, all the everything you need. All you have to do is pick something. And
Mm.
that something can be as big and as crazy and as huge as you want. And I mean, like if you want to start a restaurant on the moon, whatever it is,
Yes.
if you're guaranteed to succeed, 100% guaranteed to succeed. There's no way you could possibly fail.
Right.
What would you get into?
What would
And
yes, I
when you think
love
about that,
yes,
maybe
yes,
now they can put all that other stuff aside. Like, well, maybe I would like to, but maybe
yes.
I can't. No, no, just be free to decide what you want.
Yes, yes. I actually posed a similar question to my clients when we first start talking, like in the first meeting. I tell them, what if money was not an object? What if
Right,
you won
right,
enough money to
right.
to pay all of your bills and to live every dream you had? What would you do the
Yes,
next morning when you
yes,
wake up? What would you do?
yes,
Because that's how I believe that dream is
right.
the driver of our life. That is what
Yes,
fuels us to
yes,
go forward.
yes,
Um, uh,
yes.
yes,
And if I may say,
of course.
once you get them to state it, to just be free to say, like you said, some of them won't even give themselves permission to say it, what they really,
Yes,
really want.
yes.
So once you get them to say it, and Katerina, most of the time when
Mm,
I ask them that question and they give me an answer, it's something that's possible.
right.
They actually can do
Yes,
it.
yes. It's
Because,
not even not a restaurant on
right,
the
right.
moon.
It's
Right.
achievable.
Yeah.
All they need to do is start taking steps.
Yes,
That's
yes,
it.
yes, yes.
You build a castle one brick at a time.
Mm,
Just one
absolutely.
brick at a time.
Absolutely. Why do we stop ourselves from reaching for those goals? It just is. Shall
Wow.
we share that little experiment on LinkedIn, the poll
Yes.
that you posted?
Yes.
We're having so much fun
Yeah,
with that. So,
please do. Yeah, that is fun.
go ahead. So you posted a question recently.
Yes. And the question is, if you could only choose one
Mhm.
for the rest of your life, what would you choose? Adventure and excitement or safety and security?
Right?
And
And it
then my
was
other question is, how
right.
long did it take you to
To
decide
reach,
on your answer?
yeah. And this was meant to be light and fun. Obviously, it was
Right.
there to encourage people to seek
Right.
adventure because it's only a poll in social
Right.
media.
Right.
If
Right.
you can't
Right.
let yourself enjoy a vision, just enjoy a dream or fairy tale
Yeah.
for that one moment. But no, what did we discover? So many people were really reluctant to pick that
Yes.
option for fear.
Yes. Yes. And Katerina, I'd say often, why have the fear? You already know how the story ends. No
Yes,
one stays here forever. We
yes.
all have an expiration date. And so then the question becomes, how do you want to use your time? Because
Mm-hmm.
you already know it's going to expire one day. And then the other factor is you don't know how much of it you have. So go for it all.
Exactly. Well, I want to ask you then, how important is it to create a masterpiece in your life out of your mission, out of your legacy? How important do you think it is? I mean, you clearly demonstrated how important your vision is to you, and to get it open, get it rolling at
Right.
least, if not succeeding like to full fruition, but actually managing that this opens up the world in a different way, right? So how important is it to have that goal of actually creating something that is lasting, that is of outstanding value for everyone concerned?
I just talked about using your time.
Mm.
There's a quote that I heard, I'll paraphrase it, and it says, I won't waste my days trying to prolong them.
Mm.
I won't waste my days trying to prolong them. I will use my time. And so you have this time, if you can imagine, you have this time, however many years that is,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to exchange that time for impact.
Right.
And so that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Exchange that time for impact. So when all the time is gone, you've left an impact on
Mm.
other people's lives, something that makes us better as a whole.
Mm.
That I think we all feel that. You ask people, what do you want to do ultimately? And they always say the same thing. I want to help people. We
Mm.
all feel it. We
Yes.
want to make someone else's life better.
Mm, absolutely. When we connect the service, when we connect that contribution part of us, because I think the two biggest impulses we have inside us is to expand and grow, and the other
Yeah.
one is to contribute. Because what you're going to do with all
Yeah.
of this expansion,
Right.
if not
Right.
to give it back,
Right.
right? Um, and
Right.
being a creative mind, to me it always has to connect with something that is fun to do, that is curious, that is discovering, that is that adventure that we were talking about a minute
Right.
ago,
Right.
right? So that to me is a powerful driver forward. It's a
Yeah.
motivation for every single day. It's the
Yeah.
inspiration for life, and
Right.
it gives me meaning. It gives me a lot of
Yeah.
meaning, and that is
Yeah.
what creates this movement, powerful
Right. And the
movement forward.
enthusiasm.
Yes,
Yes. And that's
yes,
important. Like you come alive. It's like you literally come alive when you have the enthusiasm for the thing you're doing. And when you really enjoy what you're doing and you really believe in it, that's
yes,
all you need right there.
yes. My goodness. I talk to people all day long, and I single out leaders, I talk to leaders, but seldom do I meet with passion like yours,
Mm,
to actually produce something out of that mission, and
yeah.
it saddens me sometimes when people cannot connect these pieces inside
Mhm.
themselves, because do you think that this is available to all of us inside, that we can connect with passion like that? I
Absolutely.
do too.
Katerina, amazing things happen when something happens up there and in there, and you start to believe that you can.
Yes.
Amazing things happen.
Wow. Yes. So the message of this conversation then would be
I think it would be that. Just
that.
believe,
Yes.
believe that you can and get moving. Go for the adventure.
Mm.
Go for the adventure.
Yes. And have really ask yourself, what is the vision? What wants to be created
Right,
through me?
right,
Explore.
right.
Just
Yeah.
explore. You don't have to judge yourself. You don't have to have a predetermined image, but allow yourself to play with it, and allow yourself for 24 hours to believe that you
Yeah.
actually can.
I love that you say that. Allow yourself. It really is that. We have to allow ourselves
Yes,
to do it.
yes, yes. As we showed with that poll, I mean,
Right, right.
I have reposted it on my profile and got my friends involved as well, and it was really interesting to see how half of the population is ready to go for it, and within that adventure and excitement, they actually figure out that there is safety in that, right?
Mhm.
That life
Right,
isn't taking
right,
into something that is dangerous for us, but actually
right.
it is allowing us to expand in a bigger way, right? And
Mhm.
within that is such a
Yes.
feeling of safety,
Yes,
right? But the
yes.
other way around, if you frame it the other way around, like I don't think you can get to the adventure
Right,
if you
right.
want safety and
And I
security.
think too, there will always be something in there that's
Mm,
telling you you could have done more. You could
yeah.
have done, you
Oh,
could have enjoyed it more. And
yes.
that
You don't want to reach
when we
the
leave, we
end
don't want to
like
have
that.
that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Don't want to reach the end of the road thinking I could have done more.
Right,
Mm,
right. And
absolutely.
there were opportunities to like to know that you never even tried. That's sad.
My goodness me. Yes, yes. We don't want to end on that note, but this has been really one of the most empowering conversations.
Yeah,
So I want to keep it to the point for
yeah,
that
yeah.
reason, because there is so much value that you shared here. There is so much that you have demonstrated, like on your own example, how you
Mhm.
approach this, how you embrace your mission. And I am certain, I'm absolutely certain that the listeners and the viewers of this podcast will feel the difference when a leader
Yes,
shows
yes,
up to actually lead
yeah,
by
yeah.
example, right? Um,
Yes, yes.
so let's see. I'm curious, how would you describe your leadership style? Do you have a descriptor? Do you have a sense?
Yes, I don't like being controlled and I don't like controlling other people. I want people to choose to
Yeah.
show up every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I want people to think and use their minds. And that's part of the choosing. You
Right.
deliberate, you weigh your options, and you arrive at a decision. And
Yeah.
your decision is to show up and be here and do this thing. That's what I want. When you
Right.
have a team of people who believe in the vision like that, and they
Mm,
don't just show up for a paycheck, that you can really achieve great things like that.
absolutely.
So my
Absolutely.
leadership style is to allow people
Mm-hmm.
to be free to contribute, to collaborate. I really love collaborating. I like to hear all sides. Even though I may be the final decision maker, I want to hear all the sides and hear all the perspectives. I think we can arrive at a better solution that way. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm freedom probably is the
Yes.
main word that
It's the
describes my
highest
leadership
of
style.
the values, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's beautiful.
freedom and imagination.
Yes.
Let's
Yes.
turn our brains on and let's
Absolutely.
think. Here's the thing: we can solve our problems. We
Mm,
have the capacity, we have the ability, we can solve our problems,
yes.
but we got to
Yes.
be willing to step outside the box and explore some
Absolutely.
new
Oh,
options.
yes.
We
Yes.
have to be brave. We have to be brave.
Ultimately we do have to be brave,
Hmm.
but also to step into that, knowing that it's safe, you're not risking losing anything by being brave. You just
Right.
enabling yourself really to discover more of who you
Mhm.
are, to become more. And I mean, I work with leaders a lot, and I never like to create the sense that someone is more powerful than me, right? So
Yeah.
the leaders I work with, I want them to feel that they have the most empowering choice inside themselves at any point. They don't need validation from the outside. They don't need someone
Right.
else to approve it, right? But as you said, like when we come together then with powerful minds like this, with people who adopt and live by these values, these freedom values,
Mhm.
then that is a powerful combination, right? That,
Right.
that there is
I'd
nothing
like
standing in the way of that.
right. I'd like to speak to that point. When you
Mm,
think of the great achievers, the people who really made a huge impact in life, and
mm,
you can just like Martin Luther King comes to mind, Mother Teresa comes to mind,
mm,
and a lot of people. Steve Jobs comes to mind,
mm.
Michael Jordan comes to mind.
Right.
Who picked them?
Mm.
No one
Pick
picked them to
themselves.
be great. No one
Yes.
said, "Oh, I think I want you to be." They picked themselves, and they were brave enough to try, and now they're an inspiration to us all.
Absolutely. Oh, that is a beautiful point. I think we will put a bookmark here, Patrick. We need to continue this conversation. Thank you for
Thank you.
thank you for taking time and energy to share this this mission and this passion with us. And I am going to share everything here in the
Thank you.
description about Rimpage, and let's make this happen.
I
Thank
appreciate you.
you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.